Howdy, y'all. I think we are live. Let me just put up the game now. Let's get right into it. So, first of all, I updated some of the mods and it actually changed quite a bit. Realism Overhaul, or I guess RP0, changed the way they have the contracts set up for progression. So some of the contracts we had earlier are not here anymore, and we've also gained a bunch of new ones. And a lot of them are actually we have a lot of stuff for polar orbits of Earth and first polar satellite. So once we get enough money, we're definitely going to upgrade the launch pad at Vandenberg so we can start launching those. And other than that, we don't really have, most of these are like fairly exact orbits, and I still want to wait till, we don't need to wait till that next tech tree node is unlocked, but I kind of want to, and we have 230 days until then. Another thing that changed, I updated procedural fairings because someone told me to do that. Let's just throw down one of those. And I messed around with this. You can see it says only 500 kilograms to LEO now, which is lower than it was before. One thing, I don't have the decoupler here. I just have this fairing base, and they've changed that. They've made it better since the last time I tried this without having the decoupler in between them, and it seems a lot better now. I've also changed this. I removed the RCS ports that were underneath here because those weren't working at all, and I just angled all these. So these will, hopefully that's enough angle that if we do have ullage problems, we can get the fuel to the bottom and start that engine. That angle is pretty shallow though, but I still want these to be mostly for attitude control. And we weren't having ullage problems, so I don't think it'll be a problem. But the main reason that the payload capacity went down was we no longer have the option to choose upper stage in our configuration here. I'm not sure why. It must be something with RP0. They changed when you unlock that next one. I'm hoping it's with this next tech tree node that we get the stability and early probes, or whatever it's called. Other changes, I made these fins a bit smaller, and that's pretty much all the changes I made to it. Fins smaller, the changes to the avionics, I moved the camera to the other side, and I changed those RCS ports. So once we get the upper stage, or whichever configuration, the payload capacity should go back up to about 1 ton. But we'll just have to wait for that. Don't save. Another thing is I messed around with planes a bit more. I was having a lot of trouble with them, but mostly with the landing. I was having some weird issues where things were just bouncing a bunch on landing, which is kind of a problem. But I did mess around a bit more, and before I was using the small landing gear, now I'm using the medium one. This one seems to be much less affected by the bouncing. I also put dampener way up. I only have it to about 1.5. We probably don't need it all the way up. I had done some testing before. That's probably fine. But I made this plane, so we're going to be doing some flying today to answer the question in chat. Another thing about the chat, I didn't realize this on YouTube streams, it doesn't save the chat after the stream ends. It like starts a whole new comments, which I wish it saved the chat comments during the live stream and then just put them in the auto upload video at the end. So yeah, I built this plane. I tested it out. I reverted the save to before I tested it out, which I don't know if that's kind of cheating, but I don't know. I just didn't want to have to deal with. I was testing it mostly to figure out if the bug with the landing gears bouncing wildly was still there. So I'm gonna say that's not cheating, but kind of cheating, but not really, since we can still simulate it here. And that's basically what I did, was just took off, turned around, and landed right again. This plane, pretty simple, big prop. Let me show you where these are. So the big prop is really heavy, which is good. It brings our center of mass forward a lot. I have the fuel in the wings, enough for 38 minutes, which is not actually 38 minutes if you're at full throttle, but it's whatever. That gives us quite a few minutes to fly around. I'm kind of worried of the tail dragging on takeoff. Hopefully it doesn't, but I had to put these wheels really far forward so they're close enough to the center of mass, and it still doesn't take off very easily. I do have these RCS thrusters on the tail, because I was finding at really low speeds I was having trouble with pitch authority. So hopefully that makes it better. Then I also have these parachutes bound to the one of the hotkeys, so if something goes bad I can abort. But we're gonna build this, and it's gonna take 97 days. We might quick buy an upgrade point and put that into the space plane hangar so we can get this built a bit faster, but since we're kind of waiting for that next tech tree node before we would launch any more rockets, I don't think it's a huge issue. The build rate, yeah, it's just a base build rate. We'll put 1 point into that, speed it up a bit. And the reason I want to do this is because some of these X-plane missions are actually worth quite a bit. Like, we'll probably get this altitude record right away. That's 400 funds, which is a pretty tiny amount, but whatever. We'll also get X-plane low. We'll be easily able to do that. That's another 1,000 funds. And then one thing we probably won't be able to do with this plane, but once we get those jet engines, we will be able to do is this: break the sound barrier, which is worth a lot. And why do I have 2 break the sound barrier missions? Maybe when I updated mods that kind of messed things up and put 2 of them in there. I think once we start doing these X-plane missions, it'll unlock other ones that will give us more funds. We're just gonna take a quick jaunt in the airplane. So 64 days. Let's actually get rid of that. Work to that. Oh yeah, and mission controls can be upgraded soon. Who's going to make the first flight? We're probably only going to put 1 person in here for now. We have 2 pilots, and I think they're both women. Actually, these all look like female names. You're going to have an all-woman space program. Alright. And, oh wait, we have to accept those contracts for X-plane law. Oh yeah, see, it got rid of some of those we had in there. Got rid of a lot of them actually, because they all expired, and now these are the ones that should just be appearing. I don't know why we're getting specific orbit of the sun. That's kind of ridiculous, especially with that inclination. Jesus, dude. This inclination might be manageable around the sun, but retrograde around the sun is a little ridiculous. Actually, we might be getting those just because that first satellite reached escape velocity. Anyways, X-plane slow, except that. I don't think there's anything else we can do right now. No, so yeah, and we won't get this one because I think this one you need to go to space. But we'll get a little bit of money. And launch. Take that out. There's a pilot. Alright, let's do this. And we are not going to be taking off from the runway because it's all bugged out. I'm just going to do it from the grass next to the runway. And why is this already overheating? Okay. Let's do this. We probably don't need any of these. Slide our engine. Kind of sunk into the runway too. Make a biplane. Ooh. Biplane might be interesting. Alright. Alright. So we want to set our flaps to... Let's give them all the way full flaps. Let those go down. Oh, accidentally bumped the gear. Wow, I was holding the brake key, but I guess I bumped G. Alright, let's try and take off. And it's eerily quiet. Come on. There we go. Ooh, that was way smoother than before. Awesome. I'm really glad that upgrading these mods has helped fix the bouncing issue, because that was just ruining planes for me. I had spent at least 2 hours in a different save trying to get them to work, because I really want to do like SSTOs and reusable space planes in this. Alright. And we can do a crew report. And we have to get to 5 kilometers. The Tsar Bomba. We're a peaceful space administration, sir. No nukes for us, although I think there actually is a nuke part that I can unlock. I don't know if I included that. It definitely was in one of the mods that I had downloaded, but not sure. Oh yeah, we can take these flaps off now. Alright, now the long climb to 5 kilometers. You also have to maintain between 4 and 5 kilometers for, I think that's 3 seconds, not 3 minutes, but I'm not sure. That might be 3 minutes. We'll keep an eye on that. We're We're not overheating anymore. Fantastic. We're already almost halfway to our goal. Yeah, so I did make some changes to this plane after I had tested it a few times to make sure the wheels were working and takeoff and landings were working alright. I was having some problems taking off, and I actually moved the whole wing section with the control surfaces and the wheels forward so they were closer to the center of mass, and that seemed to help a lot. One moved the center of lift closer to the center of mass, which makes it a bit more maneuverable, which should help at lower speeds as well. I also angled the wings to have a slightly higher angle of attack, and then the elevons, whatever they're called at the back, I angled those down to have a negative angle of attack, just so I'd have a bit more pitch authority on landing. And it seemed to work out really well, because that was definitely the easiest takeoff I've had. It's kind of weird how there's no sound, though. Yeah, I don't have the sound off. There should be sound. I'm used to rockets, man. I need loudness. Almost at 4 kilometers, though. Okay, so that is 3 minutes, sadly. Now we're having some weird oscillations. Yeah. I should download atmospheric autopilot. That would make flying a lot easier. I'm gonna time warp just a bit, just so we can get this contract done a bit more quickly. Ah, we went too high. Oh no. I wasn't watching my climb right, but we did get this contract done, so we can turn around now. Pull a 6G maneuver. We can drop a little. Why are we picking up speed so quickly? And I know we're dropping, but boy. Okay. I feel like we actually accelerated a lot when I did that turn. It almost feels like we're still in time warp because we're moving really quick. I mean, not anymore, we've slowed down quite a bit, but right when I made that turn, that was nuts. Pretty intense G's for a prop plane. You have no fuel left to land at the ground. I surely do have enough fuel. If we bring a Delta V stats, look at this, 34 minutes of fuel remaining, and we've only been in the air about 8 minutes. When we're actually using it, our throttle's really low, so it's actually more like 2 hours of fuel. We got plenty of fuel. Plus, I'm sure this thing could glide to the ground and make a landing. Actually, one of the bigger problems with landing this is losing speed. It glides a little too well, which I don't know if there's something messed up with the physics in KSP that's making planes just have really low drag. According to FAR, when I was building this, the lift to drag ratio isn't even that great. It's like about 15 for this plane. Uh, 30 seconds until that contract is done. And then we'll do a dive and loop around and make a landing. And done. Now we just have to return home. So let's set those flaps up a bit more so we have some more drag. And make a big dive. We're gonna try landing right next to the runway, and then we'll taxi onto the runway. Let's yeah, this is super maneuverable. We're gonna do a bunch of S's to try and bleed off some speed. Which is weird. We're bleeding off like no speed with these high G maneuvers, even with full flaps, which is a little ridiculous. On many of our later airplanes, we're definitely going to need to have air brakes. We can put our gear down too, that'll create some more drag. Okay. Let's level her out a bit. Yeah, might need to do another loop around. Yeah, we're gonna loop around again. I think a pretty safe landing speed for this would probably be around 50 meters per second. Lower than that and I start to lose too much of my pitch, and I can't really flare up on landing. Although with the modifications I've made to it since my last test flight, I bet I could land it slower than that even. Alright. Here we go. I wish I could get my joystick working in this, but doesn't seem to want to work. I can like set the control in the controls menu, and it'll detect my joystick, but then it just like gets rid of it right away. And, ooh, a little too much. Let's set brakes on. There we go. Ooh, a little bit of a spin, but we're alright. Awesome. Successful landing. Now let's just taxi onto the runway so we get 100% of our funds back. I think if you're just at the like close to the Space Center, you get like 98, but if you're on the runway, you get 100% of your funds back. Do I like Star Wars? Yes, I do like Star Wars. I saw the most recent movie. That was pretty good, Rogue One. Alright, brake and awesome. So, recover vessel. Oh, I should have had the pilot jump out and do a report from the runway to get the little bit of science. If that... Wait, does the runway give you science in this? I don't think it does. Either way, we got 6.3 science because we returned from a flight, which gave us 5. And we got all our funds back. How much does this even cost? We got like 270 funds back, right? Yeah. How much does this cost with no fuel? Oh, it's the same. So fuel costs literally nothing. That's good to know. Alright, now, so we did that contract. Crew altitude of 10 kilometers. Wow. Let's see. Still only X-Planes low. I don't see any other X-Planes missions. Interesting. Yeah, I might just time warp and waste half a year to get to this next tech tree. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? So it's probably a little boring to just watch me fly planes in a circle all day. We like launching rockets. There we go. Do I prefer Luke or Darth Vader? I don't know, man. That's a hard one. And it also depends on which movie you're talking about, right? Because, like, that could totally change from movie to movie. Alright, so we got this. It gives us the 1 kilonewton thruster, which we definitely wanted. Solar panel, which we had a contract to launch a solar-powered satellite. So we'll definitely buy that. We also got these other experiments. The RCS quads, which I think we will definitely get. Let's grab this cheapo one. Actually, yeah, then we can just take off the angled RCS quads that are kind of awful on our rocket and put on the quad. Alright. I'm wondering if you have to like purchase one of these to unlock the other configuration for the avionics core. We also have the film return capsule or camera and the orbital perturbation experiment, which I think we should also grab that because I don't think it's in the... Is it in this? It's in this, so I don't want it, but Log temperature, impact data, telemetry. Yeah, I don't think it's in that. That's new science we can get. We'll take it. Sea float. Is this for building float planes? Could build a float plane. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. I think that's all we wanted for now. So let's throw that down. Let's quickly see if we got the new stuff. We did not. Is it maybe a bug that I'm not getting the new configurations? Because I definitely should be, I think. Might be better just to throw one of these Agena packages on, because 0.2 tons versus, what is this, 450. That has a lot more electric charge and it uses less. And of course we're gonna put that on. Yeah, and buying that didn't do anything. Yeah, that's so much better. It kind of ruins this avionics thing, this procedural one, if I don't have the different configurations. I don't want to have to change. What I might do is actually just throw it inside. Like that. I mean, we could totally make this smaller to fit the diameter and then increase the length on this, and it wouldn't really change anything, but yeah, too much time. We'll just shove that inside. And let's actually see how much this can lift now. Show you ballast. Obviously, oop, I just messed that up, didn't I? Lead ballast. And ooh, quite a bit actually. So about a little over 700 kilograms it can lift now, which is quite the improvement on the 500. So we'll actually quickly, one, we should make sure that, okay, 14. how much can that do? That can do 16 tons. Perfect. I think it's still, oops. I think it's still better to leave the ones down here that we have on them. We actually have 2 down here. Yeah, why? I don't like how that's not letting me do it. It makes me angry. Oh well, I'll figure it out some other time. Another thing. Let's just, that's under payload. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there. Let's just close up that gap. Do I think SpaceX can launch the Falcon 9 for Intelsat 35E 12 days after the upcoming launch? Is Intelsat... I thought it was another Iridium before Intelsat. Let me look that up quick. No, wait, yeah. It is Iridium, but yeah, it's real. Intelsat is like 6 days after Iridium. Holy cow. I definitely think that they can launch Iridium and any other thing within that short period of time because they're on different coasts. 12 days from Bulgaria Sat to Intelsat. Is that a record for them? I think that might be... That might beat their current record of fastest turnaround. I'm sure they can, but I'm also sure that they probably won't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Iridium is on the west coast. I'm sure they could do a 12-day turnaround on the same launch pad. I don't think they will do it with this. I think something is going to cause a delay for Intelsat. Just because that's the SpaceX way, having things delayed over and over. Let's overwrite that. Wait. And let's create a little tiny satellite. This controls up to 0.2 tons, between 50 watts and 5 watts. It has 15,000. I actually think 0.4 tons. Oh yeah, 0.4. Okay. One. Should we? Oh, that's expensive though. We only have 31,000 funds total. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, and that's too heavy. Don't really have anything that can control it. I mean, I guess we're gonna have to use a procedural avionics, which is down there. Unfortunately, we can't get that off the booster, which means Ugh. Yeah, and even then. Let me check something. Let's make sure there's no probe cores I'm missing. 20,000. I might have to go for that early probe core at 20,000 funds. Because it'll get us back funds right away, but... yeah, there's a Delta one. Electric charge, 120 watts, that's fine. If we throw this up as the one with satellites on it, and 0.16 tons is absolutely fine. This might be the one. The probe core, I mean, it can only control vessels up to 0.2 tons. That's extremely lightweight. Although it does stack, so you can put multiple of them on the same probe. The Delta package is only 3,500 funds, so we're definitely going to grab that quickly. We're going to make a little satellite. So Delta, and we just need to make sure this is under about 0.7. Could be a little over actually. We're going to definitely want the perturbation experiment on there somewhere. We're going to throw a fuel tank on there. We're going to make that a filleted circle. What color should we make it? Should we make it gold foil? Sure. We can shove that up in there. Howdy everyone who's here now. How many do we have on here? 6 concurrent, is that right? We have, 7 people watching. It's a little less than my other streams, but it's people, man. Yeah, that looks fine. No one will notice. We can put usage up to 100%, which I don't think we will use 100% because it'll be way too heavy, but whatever. 1 kilonewton thruster on the bottom there. We have hydrazine now. Awesome. Yeah. And why don't we have the option for hydrazine in this? Where is our hydrazine? Play at the sandbox mode. Dude, we're doing real life stuff here. I can't play sandbox. Why does this not give us the option for hydrazine? Okay. What if we switch to HTP? Gives us that. Okay. Oh. So just make sure we can get HTTP in there. We will shove these. Can we shove these? They're kind of clipped inside. Why are they clipped inside? Can we unclip them? We can. Alright. Throw that away. This. Switch to HTTP. I don't know why we can't use hydrazine. It's way too heavy, so we're gonna take a bunch of this out. That still gives us 1,000 meters per second. Which is just fine. Well, actually, oh, didn't want to do that. Wanted to do it like this. Put it as down as possible. Alright. We also want solar panels. That's kind of odd. Boom. Solar power. Holy cow, how much do these weigh? Wait, where's all our weight? Oh, that got refilled. That explains it. Okay. Oh wait, we probably want this to be pressurized too. And actually, let's make sure that's full. Let's actually do it this way. What am I making? I am making a satellite to do some stuff. And what delta V should I make when I'm building an orbiter? I mean the difference between atmospheric and vacuum delta V. So basically, in real solar system, when you're making an like orbital class rocket, you want your vacuum delta V to be about 9,400. If you have a really high atmospheric delta V, which comes from having a really efficient first stage engine, then your total delta V could probably be lower. Also, if you have a high thrust to weight ratio at takeoff, you're going to have less gravity losses. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it, but why is this? Oh, there it updated. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it. It's a little complicated. You just mess around, man. You learn by doing. Okay. Actually, these RCS ports are really tiny. I don't remember which ones I put on the rocket, but I'm gonna grab that. Boom. Okay. And we still have 9,500 before our satellite stage. What size RCS ports are these? These are... well, they are only the really tiny ones. So if I got 8,400, it's 9,400, not 8,400. But yeah, if you have about 9,400 meters per second of delta V on the vacuum delta V, that should be enough for low Earth orbit. Which is like right here I have 9,500 for this satellite on this rocket, which means I should be able to make low Earth orbit no problem. Let's shove these on here. There we go. And since this says solar panels, let's call it the Sun Eater Mark 1. It's a great name. Okay, just make sure all the staging's correct. Looks about right. And yeah, this actually looks like it's gonna do really well. Let's put on some fairings. Oops, that didn't go on quite right. Fairing's a little fat, but won't really make a difference. Make sure I know where those are going. We'll put them in our own stage. Let's save it and let's see what contracts we have if we want to change anything about this rocket. Because we want to maximize contracts, see how many we can get at once. So we have first solar powered satellite, so we're definitely going to get that. I don't see any of the others. I mean, we have first polar satellite, but we had some others up here too that are now gone. Where was that? Huh. There's like meteorological contracts in here too, but those are gone. So I guess we're just gonna get solar powered satellite, which that might unlock us something else. Yeah, that'll unlock us communications satellite, communications test satellite. Atmospheric analysis.